This is the Haibike XDURO 29. It's the opening price point for an off-road high bike at around 4,000 bucks. And this thing is pretty cool. You really get a lot here. And I guess my favorite part is the drive system. Admittedly, I'm a big fan of the Bosch because I guess it's more like riding a bike. And when I think about mountain biking and stuff, I want the weight low and center, just like this. There's the motor. There's the battery pack. I actually want to pedal and I want to, swing the bike around. I want to throw it around while I'm on the trail. And so a throttle is not my preferred way of doing that. And this doesn't offer that. There's no throttle mode. It just offers 4 levels of pedal assist, but they work really well. It's very empowering and it's relatively quiet. It's got a kind of a distinct sound to it, but I'll show you that in a little bit. So what we're looking at here is basically Shimano DRA components. You've got a 10-speed cassette in the rear, and that's great. That's good range considering that you don't have any rings in the front because basically the Bosch system takes that place, and that keeps it from getting too wide or kind of mashing. And on that subject, when you switch gears on these bikes, it actually lets off essentially it cuts the motor. It's pretty smart in the way that it functions, and it's very responsive. So if you stop pedaling, let's say you're going up a hill and you come over the edge and there's like a drop off or something, like if you stop pedaling, the bike's not gonna keep lurching forward on you. It cuts out very quickly, which is that's great. That's the kind of responsiveness you look for. It's got a cadence sensor in there, it's got a torque sensor, and you can see there that little black cable on the rear chainstay that actually detects this magnet and measures speed. So this thing's measuring 3 different things all at the same time to determine how much power to put in. It's just an awesome system. I'm a big fan. The motor offers 350 watts of power. It's a center drive. It's right there built into the bottom bracket. And you've got good clearance. It's kind of reinforced with this cover right here. So if you do hit anything, it's gonna try to take the shock. Here's the battery pack, 36 volt, 11 amp hour. Not too bad. And it actually gets you really good range on this because it only offers pedal assist. You're always adding to the system. The batteries in there are 18650 cells. They're lithium ion cells. They're lightweight. They're gonna last a long time. It's kind of a cool little power indicator on the side. So without turning it on, you can get an idea of how much juice is left. You can take the battery off and charge it, keep it inside where it's warm and it's not gonna get too cold. It's not gonna get too hot. That's gonna extend the life of the battery pack and is recommended. And frankly, if you took that battery pack off, this, it's not that heavy. This is still a really, really good bike just for cruising around on and pedaling. And when you're riding with the motor, I mean, it feels amazing. It gives you a lot of boost. The more I ride these, the more impressed I become. So to operate it, you hold down the power button for a few seconds and it brings up your menu, but you use this sort of like external switch thing over here to navigate to the different modes of assist. And of course they have this information thing too, so you can determine your range, and that's sort of estimated based on how much battery is remaining. There's your odometer, trip distance, clock, max speed, average speed, trip time. It's just cool. There's a lot there. And then you've got the up and down, or plus and minus. Right now we're in sport mode, but if you did eco, you're gonna get the best range. Tour, sport, turbo. So the higher you go, the more power you get, but of course the faster you're going to use that battery pack. And it does have a precise battery pack capacity indicator, which is key because even though this isn't super heavy and you could pedal your way back, it's just nice to have some idea, and it's not like an LED light or something that can be misinterpreted. All the cables are run through the frame. The frame itself looks really cool, and it's almost got this like low step cutaway here, so if you need to jump off and you're, I don't know, on a ledge or something, you're not gonna rack yourself, which is key. It's got 29-inch wheels, so higher attack angle. You're gonna be able to overcome obstacles, get good momentum. And in my experience, there's still good clearance because you don't wanna clip your toe when you're riding, but they do have a 650B version. There's like a full suspension version of the Haibike, and it has 650B, so you could keep that in mind. Got the 180 millimeter Tektro disc brakes, front and rear, hydraulic, so you can actuate that with just like one finger, no problem. And I wanted to mention this display is actually removable. It's super cool. Like, pop that off like this. You can take the screen with you, so no one's gonna mess with it at the bike racks if you decide to cruise to work one day. And again, this being a hardtail, so it's like a little bit lighter. It's gonna work in the city, it's gonna work on the trails, and it's one, you know, better price point than some of the other ones. I realize it's a lot of money, but you're getting like a pretty high quality thing, and I think it shows really well. So I'm just gonna hop on this, and oh, I forgot to mention, remote lockout right here. So you can just press that and release it. You can you know, mess with the suspension on the fly, which is pretty cool. Okay, so I'm in turbo mode. That's the highest mode, so you can hear it. Depending on which one you pick, it might be a little quieter, but you're not gonna get as much power. I'm just gonna cruise around here. It's kind of hilly. I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. It's a cool bike. You know, there are, of course, you've got like hub motors and different things. They kind of zip you around a little bit more, but for someone who wants to pedal, who enjoys that, but maybe you've got some hurt knees, maybe you want to go further, or just, you know, struggle climbing and you get worn out and you want to go the distance, this is just such a cool solution. It's inspiring, like what electric bikes can do, and I think this system is getting there. It's like very refined. So yeah, that's the XDURO RX 29-inch wheels. For more on this and other electric bikes, see you back at ElectricBikeReview.com.